So now let's take a look at Balk drawings and the Balk drawings tab that you can see here in the square information page. As we select the Balk drawings tab, you can see here that I have Balk drawings that show up when I select the individual buttons. The ones on the left side, the far left, select the season. So I have 2018, 2019. And then we can select individual box, whether north, south, east, or west, by selecting the season and then selecting one of the buttons here that's related to the north, south, east, and west. You can see that in the north box that somebody has failed to put these pictures in, and we don't want that, so we're going to change that in a moment. And we can also see here on 19, we look at the east block, and the east block photo is missing. When you do add, we're going to talk about how to add, and we're going to talk about how to fill in. So let's go to that north block and let's do a simple fill in. We're going to fill this in because we already have the picture. That picture is currently a photograph that we have taken. If you're not familiar with a Balk drawing, please go to your dig manual and read that section, or at least talk to your field supervisor. Sometimes the person who draws or who makes these Balk drawings is a specific designated person, and their only job is to create, or one of their jobs as the artist or the architect is to draw the Balk drawings for all the squares. It is my recommendation that you at least draw all the Balks, all 4 Balks. Many people, what they do is they only draw the north and the east Balk. And that's great, and if that's all you can do, that's wonderful, better than leaving them out. But my experience has been in trying to reconstruct data from previous seasons for doing new research. If you don't have all 4 Balks drawn, then there's a lot of things that are going to be missing, particularly when you're trying to understand the stratigraphy. So in this case, you can see that somebody's done a north Balk, and now what we need is east Balk. Just remember that all the pictures and things that you see in here are all sample data, so it's not going to be exactly what we're supposed to be, what for this particular square. So this is square M9, but you'll notice that it says square 7 and square 8. Obviously the pictures that you're seeing are finished publication drawings, and it's not even the right site, but just bear with me on this. So let's just say we're going to fill in, and we're going to fill in a Balk here. So let's go in and fill in the north Balk. The easiest way to do that is to find that as a photograph. You have drawn the north Balk, or somebody has drawn the north Balk. You have taken it and put it on the table. You've taken your iPad, you put it right over the top of it, you filled the frame and taken a picture, and you've got a picture of either the finished drawing or the hand drawing. So we can find that by just simply tapping again on the large box in the center where the picture is going to go. Tap on the photos. In this case, we're going to look at recents, and from the recents we can then select the most recent one. And here we go. It has added, I think it actually added one that I've done before. That's okay. This is just to show you how to add it. So that's one way of adding a picture, is to simply add it by bringing it in as a photo. Let's go over here, and we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to tap on the photos button, and we're going to go ahead and click all photos in this case and see if we can find a photo that we have done, anything recently, which I don't see. So now what happens? It's not in the photos. Well, it could be the person who drew it didn't save it as a photo, but instead they saved it as a PDF file. So if you want to find a PDF file, then the way to do that is, again, you're going to select this box, but instead of selecting photos, you're going to go to File. Now they should have sent that to you, and one of the ways to do that is by airdropping it. They will airdrop it to you, and you are given the option of where you want to put it. You want to put it in the FileMaker Go 18. And then when you put it in the FileMaker Go 18, then you can scroll down here and you can find a PDF file. And so we're going to insert this PDF file. Do make sure that you have the orientation correct. So let's just take a look. How would we do this type of thing? How would we take a PDF file and transfer it from your existing whoever drew this, and how we're going to put that PDF here using AirDrop? Now, I'm not going to go through how they are sending it to you, but what it will look like when it is sent to you. So I'm going to send an AirDrop photo here, which I'm going to want to include so that I can add a new one, a South Balk, for example. So let's just bear with me for a moment as we take a photograph, a PDF file, and we're going to take that PDF file that is a, let's see if we can find one here. Here's a good one. Now this says from B5 and 6 North Balk. So I'm going to, what I'm doing is on a computer, I'm dragging it so that it goes to the airdrop to the iPad. And notice what happened. It immediately popped up. Now usually what will happen, it actually will ping at you. And that's fine. So it may ping at you. When it does, it'll show you something like this. It'll ask you, where do you want this to go? It has already memorized that we want it to go, where we want it to go. And to get back, what I have to do, see I'm looking at the recents here. To get back, what I have to do is I have to go all the way back through this process and re-log in. Because it kicked you out of your FileMaker program and kicked you into this, kicked you in here. So let's try it again. I'm going to take a PDF. Let's find another PDF that's different from ones that we've used, and I'm going to send it to you, and this time it's going to ping at you, and when it does, it's going to ask you to insert it into a place. It needs to open it up. How are you going to open this up? So let's take a PDF file. Here's a PDF file. I'm going to drag it over using the airdrop. Going to take it, drop it. Now it's going to ping, and notice what it did. It brought up airdrop and it says, where do you want to put it? What you want to do is put it in FileMaker Go 18. If you're using FileMaker Go 19, then you scroll down and use FileMaker Go 19. So we're going to use 18. We're going to select that, and now it's say, do you want to replace? That's because I have more than one copy. Say yes, I want to replace in this case. And so now that it's in there, when I go to add, I want to add a south. I'm going to hit the new button because I want to add a new button here. I'm going to look for file, and I'm going to see what comes up here is a list of all the files that we have that are in the place where this database is being stored. And if we look carefully, we can see, oh, hey, here's B3, here's B22, and I'm going to use the B22 one. I'm going to pop that in there and do make sure that you have the orientation correct. Now you want to put the date. In this case, I'm going to put today's date by inserting our current date, and then we'll insert a description as well. In this case, or I should say which orientation. We're going to say this is our south balk. We're going to tap outside, click on the box like so. We did the east balk. So now I'm going to tap on the south balk. I'm going to add a new one. We're going to come over here to files. We're going to add this. Scroll down until I see B3. Here's B3. And now it's added the B3 balk drawing. Again, make sure that you have it oriented correctly. I'll see if I can fix that so it'll do it automatically, but we'll see. So now what happens is that I can now tap on each one of these buttons and I can see the south balk, the east balk, the north balk. Now you can have more than one north balk. You can have more than one east balk. You may have more than one south balk. Frequently what happens is as you dig down for the course of a season, you'll draw the north balk, or you draw all the balks. You come back in another season, you come down farther, and then you draw the next section of that balk. So you can add another north balk. Since each one is by season, we can see the progression of the north balk as it progresses through each of the seasons, 2018, 2019, and 2020, and so on. So this is what you do with the north balk. Now, like I said, sometimes it's the square supervisor's responsibility. Other times there may be a person who's designated to do this job. Maybe it's the artist or the architect. Maybe it's just somebody who's good at doing it. Somebody from your square who's done this in the past. Whoever is responsible, they need to give you that balk drawing so that you could put it in here. You need to do this before you leave, before you check out and out of your hotel or your tent or wherever you're staying, and head back home. This needs to be put in there because if we don't have the balk drawings in, we can't evaluate the stratigraphy for that season. And this is the best way to do it. As you can see from the one that is being illustrated here, this is actually a finished balk drawing which shows two squares next to each other. And I have highlighted, given a color to the various period. Those pinky colors are from the Iron II period. The orangey colors are more modern this would be called the topsoil. Nothing there was stratigraphic. It was a stratigraphic mix, and it was close to the surface of the soil. So this is what it looks like when you are finished drawing and you're prepared to have something published. So that's bulk drawings, the drawings, how you add them, how you select them. And now the next thing is that you can actually see a list of those bulk drawings by selecting the bulk drawings list, and then from there we'll return. So back to the Square information page. So let's select the bulk drawings tab and our button, and let's see what it looks like. Now that we have tapped on the bulk drawings list in the upper left hand corner, you will find a list of all the bulk drawings. Now first thing you're going to notice is that these don't look exactly the same. These are not the same bulk drawings, and the reason is that some time has passed since I completed the first part of the bulk drawings video. So it's the same principle. You would have all the bulk drawings that are in your list, and you can then scroll down and see those. And you can see on the right side now you're going to have the loci which are in the bulk drawings. You're going to add those, and I'll show you where to add those in a moment. Now to get back, what you do is you can either tap the home button, and then that takes you the long way around. You go back to the home page, and from the home page you can navigate through the Square information and then back to the bulk drawings tab, or you can just simply and easily just tap the return button. And the first thing you'll notice is things are a little different than they were. Some things have been added. On the right side, you'll see that we have a place where you can add the loci numbers. And if we just sort of zoom in, and the way you zoom in, if you're not familiar with iPads, is you put your two fingers onto the iPad screen, and then you either pull them apart or bring them back together, and as we do that it makes it larger and smaller. But you can see in this picture, in this drawing, you can see locus 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 11, and 12 are illustrated. And so what you would do is over on the right hand side you tap into that box, and then you fill in all of the loci which are in the drawing itself. So we can just put number 1 and 2 here as an illustration, and then what will happen is that now we have a record of which loci are there. If you want to zoom in, do not need to use the Enlarge photo button, and the reason why you don't need to use the Enlarge photo button is because that's for the computer. Instead, just tap, and as you can see here, it has already popped up for me, and tap on the view, and what that does makes it nice and large so that you can see the bulk drawing much easier. So we'll just tap done, and now I can have the north, south, and east. Now if you have sub-bulks, you can also add sub-bulks here. Now it doesn't have them listed, but you can go ahead and type in sub-bulk, and if you type in sub-bulk, that'll allow you to add that as well. And just make sure that you include any of the loci that are in the drawing. In this case I've only put 1 and 2, but you should fill out, you know, number 3, number 4, and number 5, or number 6, and so on, the ones that are listed here. You also notice in the upper right hand corner there's a rotate photo button, and this is because sometimes when you bring a PDF, and most of the time you're going to want to create a PDF for the bulk drawings and not a JPEG, and that allows us to email this if we need to. What you do is you tap the rotate button, and it will turn the PDF, because when it comes in, a PDF doesn't always come in the right direction. It tends to come in a portrait mode rather than a landscape mode that you see here. So those are the basic features when it comes to our bulk drawings. Like I said, you can tap the 2018 or 2019, whatever season it is, and then you can add drawings to that season. And then up in the upper left hand corner you see the bulk drawings list, and you can also see the rotate photo on the right side. Let's go back to the Square info tab, and we can then move on to learning more